and welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the Unrise Me studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. I'm joined all the way from somewhere in America, I've completely forgot, Ronald RPG Gordon.
Yeah, that's it, baby. I'm here from Southern California. What's going on?
Sorry, where are you in America, mate?
I am in Riverside, California. Close to...
That's right, yes, because of course, Psycho Fitness, and okay, I see the connection. Mate, we haven't spoken for over a year. How have you been, mate?
Well, in the spirit of transparency, I've been really, really good. But last year was pretty difficult for me. I went through a pretty nasty injury, so I sat things out, along with, everybody dealing with the pandemic and whatnot. But yeah, last year was pretty rough.
So, I mean, I've not really seen you much on social media. So, I mean, you've been very, very quiet. I'm assuming it's because you've been working.
Yes, I've been working, but truth be told, people have to twist my arm to post things. Psycho gives me all kinds of content all the time of our training, and I'll hoard it and I'll keep it. And sometimes I'll put it out when I remind myself, but that's just something I have to get a little bit better at. Yeah,
I think a lot of sponsors, they pressure athletes. They got to go post all the time. But I think if you're not that way inclined and you don't have to, I suppose then it's just you just don't really. You don't have to post every day. You don't want to, do you?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to, more so for the fans. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of people who have a lot of questions and look up to me and enjoy the content. So just for checking that box, I would like to more. Not so much for sponsors or anything like that. Those things are great. So if you're out there and you want to give me a sponsorship, that's cool. But for me, I would like to post more just for the fans, because, you have to put yourself back into the position where you were just lifting weights or an amateur and kind of realize, at one point you were that kid or man that reached out or wanted to have a connection with somebody that was a pro. So I'd like to do a little bit of a better job with that.
Right, mate. Now, like I said, you've not been on my radar because, like I said, I haven't been seeing that much of you on social media. And then the other week, I think it was Coelho's reposted some progress videos. And yeah. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, mate. The improvements are shocking.
Well, like I said, man, I'm going to give all of the credit to my team. My coach Abdullah, Chris Psycho Lewis. We've had a plan and it's been evolving since we all got together. Chris trains me, Abdullah does my program and my diet, and we have really, really attacked a lot of my weaknesses, primarily my back. As a taller competitor, you can never have too much back or deltoids, and I've always had a decent set of delts. So we really, really attacked hard to bring up my hamstrings and my back. And Chris has been in the lab, coming up with all kinds of things to kind of really bring down my lats and bring out the density. And I'm pretty excited about that.
To be honest, mate, that's what stuck in my mind. When I saw the video, I think it was when you, like you said, because the video was facing you front on and you were hitting the poses in the mirror. It was actually your back and your shoulders that actually were the two things that stuck in my mind most of all.
Yeah, I get a lot, throughout my whole career, I've always had very, very dominant rear delts. Mm-hmm. And that's actually helped me get by with my rear, double bicep poses. My rear delts were so dominant, but the lats didn't really come down and, latch into the teres area and go all the way down. And the taller you are, the longer they have to go. Yeah. So that's kind of something we really, really worked on throughout the whole prep with a lot of reps, a lot of single arm movements. Pretty much anything you can think of to make sure those bad boys are targeted.
So when was that video taken? Because you literally look like you could step on stage.
That was taken last week.
Oh, Jesus.
2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So the thing is, now what makes this prep interesting, speaking of stepping on stage, is that I didn't have an off season. Okay. So I approached Psycho and I approached Abdullah and I told them I was ready to try to compete. And they were like, okay, because I hadn't had an off season or anything. And I was just like, I think I can prep. I can do the whole grow into the show thing. I think I can try it, Wow. And so basically I've been lean throughout. I started prepping for the show, I was probably like in the 270s.
Yeah.
And at some point during prep, I got into like the 290s, and then we just kind of tapered down. So I'm not going to be too much lighter than where we started, to be honest with you.
Do you think that's a healthier way to do it?
Healthier way? It's probably a healthier way. It's probably not the best way to make massive improvements. It's definitely a much more difficult way because you have about this much room for error to have a surplus and to stay lean.
Yeah.
So I couldn't afford to get outside of the framework and still prepping for a show while still trying to make improvements.
So how long has the prep been?
Say again?
How long has the prep been? How many weeks?
12. Just a 12-week prep.
So 12. So you've gone from 270 and then you've crept up to 290 at probably, 6-7 weeks out?
Yeah, the first 4 weeks we were just kind of, it was kind of like a quick off season.
Yeah.
And then last between weeks 8 and 6, we kind of started dialing it down. And then between 6 and 3, we were really, really pushing hard the conditioning. And then now we're just kind of, trying to land a plane a little bit.
I think it's more in vogue now, guys, like you said, growing into the show, but because you're not coming from a high body weight, literally say from down 300 down to 280 or whatever. There is a bit of a seesaw effect. I suppose it does add a lot of pressure when you're on a prep.
It does because, when you have a true off season, you have such latitude to basically your whole function is just to build muscle. And I'm not saying you don't care how it looks, but you really don't. Because in the back of your mind, you're relying on the fact that prep is going to take care of all of the extra homework you might have created for yourself in the form of body fat. So when you kind of grow into a show, you ever get some piece of furniture you got to build, and you open it up and they give you all of these parts. Like that is the exact amount of parts that you have. You don't have any extras. You don't have any more, and you got to make it work because if you don't, then something's going to be off. So it's just a little bit more dialed in because you don't have room for error, if that makes any sense.
So, explain the whole no off-season thing. You're still training. So how would you define an off-season?
Okay, so full disclosure, last April, I ruptured my tricep.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Completely off the bone. I had surgery, got it fixed up. And the timetable I was given was about 3 months before it was just functional, just to do that.
Wow.
That took me, and again, that took me till about July. So during this time, I'm just doing legs. That's it.
Wow.
So 2 workouts a week. And then after that, slowly start progressing. So I would say by the time I reached out to Chris, I was probably about 3 weeks removed from starting, 3 weeks removed from doing 10 push-ups.
Shit. So why choose literally one of the first big shows, the Indy Pro? Why not just say, okay, then I've ruptured my tricep. I need more time, to recover. Why not choose a show later on in the season? Why the early ones?
Because I figured, you know what, if I'm aggressive with it, my body's going to be aggressive with the response.
Yeah.
And if for some reason, I can't, the worst thing that can happen is I just improve my recovery. So when I approached Abdullah and Chris about it, like I said, at the beginning of the 12 prep, I said, let's just see what happens after 4 weeks. Let's just see how I respond. And then if it's feasible, we'll go ahead and do the darn show. And like I said, after about 8 weeks, there were still a lot of things that we had to kind of work around with regards to my strength. But I was able to train back completely.
Good.
At the time, I was able to do some pressing movements. And we train legs and back like 4 times a week. So 2 leg days, 2 back days.
So is the strength equal on both sides now completely?
No.
Really? Is it like a bit, what would you say percentage-wise is a disparity?
Pressing, I would say, is fairly close.
Okay, good.
Flexion, they're in different zip codes right now.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you tear the tricep? Was it training or out of the gym?
Real quick, when is this going to air?
Wednesday.
Okay. All right, judges. I was just joking. My tricep is completely fine. You go stare at my arm, okay? No, it's cosmetically fine. I just want to put that out there. No. So what's your question again?
I completely forgot. What was the what did I say? Oh yeah. So how did you tear it, in or out of the gym?
No, it was bad last year. So when I first started training with Chris, I had just gotten a PRP injection.
Okay.
So I was trying to remedy a lot of the aches and pains. I just thought it was really bad tendonitis. So I got the PRP injection. That didn't really do the trick. And then a few months later, this is all off-season time. A few months later, I got a cortisone shot.
Okay.
I felt a lot of relief. Like I hadn't felt that good since I was young, you know? The problem with cortisol is just a masking thing.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. You feel great, exactly. But the pain's there to tell you that something's not right.
Exactly. Yeah. So what could happen, right? So we're training back. And what a lot of people don't understand is that like certain movements with back actually put a lot more stress on the tricep than pressing. So I was doing just cable pullovers.
Yeah.
We extended, and when that weight transferred from my lat to my tricep, it just popped. And Chris heard it. He asked me if that was my tricep, and I said, "Yeah, I think that was it." And unfortunately, because of the pandemic, it took me almost a month to get an MRI.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there was cosmetically, if you looked at it, it's not like anything rolled up or anything like that. So it was still attached. But you're talking about just a thread.
Yeah.
So I finally got it looked at. They said, yeah, you're going to have to get this surgically repaired. And went through, had an awesome orthopedic surgeon. He took care of me, Dr. Blanton. And I was on my way to recovery.
Well, I've seen the video, and you said you've had no off season and a tricep injury. For me, you've made big improvements, and I did not see anything that looked even remotely like an injury. And I watched the video several times because I couldn't believe how improved you were. So to say that you've had that and no off season, I think you've done really, really well in this 12 weeks.
Oh, thank you so much, man. And again, I have to bounce to Chris and Abdullah, one for believing in me and just being so darn flexible.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're working around things, and Chris is really, really good at this, is making sure he gets the most out of me without, getting me in a position where I'm compromised or hurt. Like when you want to be confident, you don't want to think about anything but the task at hand. You don't want to think about an injury, and Chris puts me in a position to do that. And like I said before, the beauty of it is, I'll say, is that the one thing as a bodybuilder you never want to stop training is legs. So I was able to train legs that whole time. I couldn't do any squats or anything because I only had one arm, but I was able to do a lot of leg press, back squats, and stuff like that. So that kind of maintained my size, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously I was still relatively small, but I was obviously a lot bigger than an average person still, just because of the workload.
How often do you train with Psycho Fitness then?
We get together 3 times a week.
3 times a week, and then you just do your own thing the other times?
Yeah. So the mainstays are legs and back, and then we'll rotate chest and delts. I never train.
Never. You don't need to.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I think we both consider it a waste of both of our services for that, But I have trained arm with him, and the arms with very.
So, I mean, you've got a really good team there. You got Coach Abdullah from QA, obviously prepping you remotely, and you've got Psycho Fitness. I mean, could you even hope for a better team?
I couldn't, man. I mean, you got the trainer for Mr. Olympia 2018, and then you got the coach for Mr. Olympia 2019.
Yep.
Who's also the coach, the guy who just won the Arnold Classic this past year. And, the interesting thing is, it's not like I met both of them together at a ballroom. I don't think they've actually ever physically met in person. Abdullah's in Kuwait, Psycho's out here with me. So the fact that, I've been fortunate enough to have both of them in my corner, man, it's just amazing. I just want to do my part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because So they have amazing resumes.
And Coach Abdullah is very good at prepping people remotely. He's very, very, very skilled at it.
He is, but it also helps that I have spent some time out in Kuwait with him, so he knows how quickly I can respond, and he knows how I train, because he was the one that recommended I train with Chris, because he knows I need to be pushed, and I'll continue to push as long as somebody pushes me.
And, you know, talking about growing into a show, that's basically what Brandon Curry does with Abdullah every single time he goes to Kuwait, because by the time he gets to Kuwait, he's at his smallest, if you can call it that. And then over those 12 weeks, he literally does what you've done, and he just grows into the show. So Coach Abdullah is very, very well versed and very successful at doing that.
Yeah, well, initially, Brandon went out there for a much longer period of time to kind of build up, and that's kind of when Chris Cormier and some of those guys were there, kind of building the foundation over there in Oxygen. But yeah, obviously Brandon and Coach Abdullah, they've kind of mastered the process of just basically taking Brandon with a little bit of a higher body fat for him, but you're still 10%, and then just building from there. So, I mean, if you saw him yesterday in Pittsburgh, I mean, he could probably step on stage in 5 weeks if he wanted to.
Yeah. Sorry, did you go to Pittsburgh?
I did not.
Oh, okay, no, okay. You just saw the pictures, because I was like, wow, because he is one of those guys that he can, you know, he stays very lean. And I remember I did the tour with him in 2020, and Brandy said, look, he's really downsized, you know, he's very, you know, he's kind of at his smallest now. He's, you know, he's off everything and everything. And I was like, okay. And he came, and I mean, when he trained, he just looked like Brandon Curry. Do you know what I mean? He just looked phenomenal. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I can't imagine what he's like when he's like 2 weeks out from the Olympia or the Arnold, you know? Yeah,
yeah. I think things too that a lot of people, not to get too deep into the science of it, is that a lot of times when you kind of give yourself a break, whether you decided to do it on purpose or because of injuries, you can kind of get those newbie gains again. That you get from when you're on a couch. So
that's me, right? That's me right now, mate. I've just started back. I'm 9 weeks back. I'm 9 weeks back, and my body is just like, for the first time in years, it's responding like I haven't felt in probably 10 years.
Yeah. So a lot of times you can, whether purposely or accidentally, kind of tap into those newbie gains and make some strides that you probably couldn't if your foot was constantly on the gas.
Yep.
Your body wants to get back to its old self, especially if you're providing a stimulus. So that's kind of one of the reasons I think that I had a lot of confidence, that I was going to be able to do something with this prep.
So you're, what was it, 7 days to 6 days, 7 days from the Indy Pro?
By my count, I'll say 5.
Okay, so wait, you step on stage on Saturday, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You excited?
I don't know if that's the appropriate word. It's hard to be excited when you're beaten down in the middle of prep.
Yeah.
I'm anxious. I look forward to it, and I've started to really get deep into envisioning myself on stage again and being competitive and having fun again. So I look forward to it for sure.
I mean, the last time I saw you on stage, it's like you're one of these guys that just a few small tweaks and a few small improvements, and you are one of those guys that could leapfrog. I've always said this, that could leapfrog up into the absolute top echelons because of your size, your structure, you're tall, you're wide, you've got good legs for a tall guy, So I'm very, very excited to see if what I saw on that video translates to the stage, because if it does, I think you're going to be a real shock in the show, mate.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think so too. I think that, I have the type of physique that, if I peak well, kind of like a Dennis Wolf, knock on Dennis Wolf was like, if he peaks well, that's like 4 or 5 placings, and if he doesn't peak well, it's kind of like, you look good, but not, So I'm pretty realistic with myself to where, as a tall guy, I need to pop, I need to have a little bit of pop. I'm always going to be in very, very good condition, especially for like a open men's bodybuilder. It seems like conditioning has actually gotten better overall in all of our shows, to be honest with you. We haven't really had anybody just complain that guys have been out of shape. So that's good overall. But yeah, I think we've really been focusing on making sure I pop this prep. We got some things in store for my peak week.
Yep.
It's going to be a little than we have in the past. It's going to help me out. And again, it's predicated on the fact that I've been in shape already 2 or 3 weeks out. So you get a lot of leeway when you get in shape early for a show.
You talk about Dennis Wolf, and I remember I was at the 2010 Olympia, and the bigger guys like him and Jay Cutler, at the start of the judging, he looked phenomenal. By the end of the judging, he completely flattened out. So it's so important to bring guys your size in as full as you need to be, like you said, so you have that pop. Otherwise, it's like, okay, well, we've missed it here. We're going to have to try something different at the next show. So it's very important with the big guys that you really, really are filled out adequately. And obviously that's much trickier than, say the shorter guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also think, too, the hardness aspect of it, of your physique. Now, that kind of comes into play with regards to how you do your water and everything like that. Mm-hmm. But I think because we've been kind of doing this whole growing to the show thing, like we're really dialed in on how I respond when I'm tired or if I don't have a certain amount of food, because we've got some workout videos early on in prep when I was eating good to the pump that I've had maybe the last 4 weeks, and it's completely night and day, which again, that's great. That's evidence we can put forward towards going to the show. A lot of guys fixate so much on trying to look good every day that they don't realize that little experiment that you did when things didn't work out, that's a good thing. So not to do it.
Yeah.
Because eventually you're not going to have all that food in order to get in condition, but you need to know just how much, which foods you need and all that kind of good stuff. And I think we're pretty much spot on exactly what I respond to and what I need to eat and what I don't need to eat. Because we gave a couple of things a try and it worked in one way, but it kind of backfired already.
So aside from the Indy Pro, are you doing, there's the Cali Pro, which is on your doorstep. There's the New York Pro. What other shows are you looking at potentially?
So I'm thinking about doing at least two out of the three of those.
Okay.
But everything is going to be results based.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I go to Indy and I win, well then I'll probably shut it down and do like the rest of the guys who've gotten that ticket punch. If I go in and I get like top 5, you know how this sport is. You got to strike while the iron's hot.
Yep.
You're feeling good. You're fresh in the judges' minds. So I'm going to keep going. If I go in and get 40th place, well, I don't think a lot's going to change in a week. I'm realistic. So that's another thing that we have to do. Either way, we're going to come back and regroup. It just depends on what we're going to be working for. Is it going to be another show? Is it going to be an off season? Or could it possibly be preparing for the Olympics?
Oh, it's also, I'm excited, mate, because like I said, I saw that video and I was like, holy shit, because it's so easy, people come and go out so quickly in and out of your head, and I saw that and I was like, my God, he's really put some size on there, and he's really put like a lot of quality and the conditioning, and it's that kind of conditioning where I said, like, I'd be happy seeing you like that on stage, and if you're looking like that 2 weeks out and you've got Abdullah, cruising you in nice and steadily, I think it's going to be exciting, mate, to see just how you fall in the mix. You're one of like 2 or 3 guys I'm really, really looking forward to seeing at the Indy Pro, aside from the usual suspects,
Yeah, I'm glad, man. Like I said, I look forward to it, and it's been a really good push and pull relationship with Chris, myself, and Abdullah, because Chris, he provides the stimulus. And he constantly forces Abdullah to chase that, because our training sessions are tough.
Okay.
And they're hard. And I think the advantage that I have that a lot of guys don't is that I don't pick my training sessions. Most of these guys go in the gym and they get their little workout partners and they cater everything to what they want to do, which again, I'm sure all of these guys train hard, but there's nothing like somebody else who's not connected to how you feel making you do it.
Yeah. He's like, nah, tough. You feel like shit. Sorry. It's going to be tough either way. Like,
exactly. And the thing is we're both like this, and we've kind of had this blood and guts atmosphere where we're the only ones in the empty gym. It's just the 2 of us.
Nice. 2
hours, no music, and we're just going at it. And we get done, and a lot of times he walks off and I'm on the floor. That's just the kind of and I'm just that kind of individual that loves that kind of stuff.
So hang on a minute, what time do you train then if the gym's empty?
10:30.
10:30, right? Okay, so the gym's nice and so you got the whole gym to yourself.
Yeah, the way Chris has the gym set up is it's more trainer's gym.
Okay.
And few exceptions. So when I schedule my time with Chris and his constituents, we have an ability to block things off so that usually by the time I'm leaving, somebody else is kind of taking a peek at the carnage, and then they kind of step in. But yeah, usually we have it by ourselves, man, which is really good. This is the first time I've kind of had that type of personalized experience.
And it's a bit of a turnaround from when you were sneaking in the gym during the pandemic. It's on the episode, but you've talked about it.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Now, I'm not going to lie. I miss those pandemic workouts.
Do you? Do you like the excitement of it?
I do. It's something about sneaking in at 10 o'clock at night with the gym bag and, just going to work and hiding in the room closet from the cops,
So, I mean, I know the West Coast was kind of like a little bit behind in terms of all that. So is everything kind of back to normal now in California?
Yeah, everything's back. I got a new home gym, Fitness Mania. It's the newest version of that gym I trained at during the pandemic. Great ownership, newest equipment around. If you ever come to California, you got to check it out. But I love it. I wish things were back the way it was sometimes when I could just kind of sneak in, not have to deal with traffic and all of that. But I'm glad everybody's kind of back into their groove and able to train again for sure. So as of right now, no mask mandates or anything like that out here.
Good. I'm glad to hear it, man. I'm glad to hear it. Right. So when do you fly out to Indy, mate?
Wednesday.
Oh, shit.
Here.
Wow.
And with the geography of our little country over here, but I'm from Michigan. So Indy is pretty close to where I grew up, although I've never been to Indianapolis. So it'll be cool. So I'm excited.
Well, I'll be watching the live stream. I'm doing a live play-by-play for MD. So I'll be watching. We'll be literally on this screen that I'm looking at you on now. We'll be watching the live stream. So I'm really, this is, I think this is going to be the best Indy ever. I mean, I interviewed Dave Bowers for the Pro League Hype Show. And he was really kind of, because I said to him, last year I interviewed, I said, you seem nervous. I said, this year, you just seem excited.
I haven't met Dave personally, but I know a lot of people in the industry who've known him for years and who've done his show. I've heard nothing but positives from him. Everything I've seen from the stages, guys getting nice badges and gift bags, like things that we only used to hear about back in the day. He really, really takes care of his pros. And that's something I kind of look forward to. And like I said, just putting on a good show. I think he's genuinely vested in putting on a good show for everyone, making sure the athletes have a good, comfortable experience and not just herding guys out there to check a box. I can appreciate that. For sure.
He's a very passionate promoter. And the thing is, he's competed at quite like a national level as well. So, he knows what you guys are going through, to compete. So he really... Yeah, so, okay then, Ronald, I'm so glad we caught up, and thank you for coming on at short notice, because I know it's only a week out, and I know that sometimes I'm always like, should I get some of these guys on so close? But your energy's good, and I appreciate it, mate. Thank you.
Get grumpy until afternoon.
So, you get grumpy in the afternoon, right? Okay, I'll make a note of that.
Yeah, I get one carb meal in the morning, and then after, I got to go. I don't go work out pretty soon. I miss my window. So
in 40 minutes, he's going to get very grumpy. So I'm going to let you go now, mate. So cool. All right then, Ronald. Well, all the best for the Indy Pro and obviously the other shows as well. Well, whatever happens. And like I said, we'll be watching and very excited to see all your progress and for what you do in 2022, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. And thanks for all of my fans, anybody that's been following me, supporting me. And if you haven't been and you want to come aboard, again, RPG 8305 on Instagram. I promise to put out more content. I'll ease into other things into my life, but right now, just bodybuilding in general. But it's going to be a fun show in Indy. I promise to bring my best and compete hard on stage. I
believe you, mate. Absolutely. I believe you. Okay, I'll speak to you very soon. And like I said, all the best for the Indy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ronald. Okay, guys, it is Hot News segment 4, Season 4, Episode 62? 61? 62. 62 of MD Global Muscle. And we are back, because we had no hot news the last couple of weeks, because the last couple of weeks you've had in-studio guests, which were absolutely amazing. So obviously, Samson Dowder drove all the way from, if you basically drove the length of England. And we've got some training footage as well. I went training and I was filming him in between sets, and I put that as a separate video. Fantastic. I think there's nothing better than when you can get somebody in front of you and you can just basically just see where it goes. And I thought, and also the Jamie the Giant episode, I thought was a real 10 out of 10. I feel very, very happy. I thought, it was great. Rumor is we might have another in-studio guest maybe next week. So hopefully we can arrange it. But obviously there's so much going on with shows at the moment. We've had the Pittsburgh Pro last weekend by the time you watch this. And we have the Indy Pro coming up this following weekend. And we have the New York Pro, the Cali Pro. So all the shows are now starting. The season is kicking off. And it is very exciting. So we are going to go to our first hot news. The guest, obviously, on this episode, Ronald P. Gordon, RPG. He blew my mind when I saw this. I'll see if I can... So hopefully we can find the video that I found. I know, I'll come to it on Sulio's. I'll find it. Because this is what really got my attention. Because he's kind of a low-profile guy on Instagram. And... I'm telling you, watch out for this guy. He looks absolutely phenomenal. Trained by Psycho Fitness and prepped by Coach Abdullah, obviously Brandon Curry's coach. And it's just, look at that. That looks photoshopped. Look at it, and he's not. That's the magic mirror in Kuwait. And this is obviously he went out to Kuwait to be trained by Coach Abdullah. But, as you can see, this guy is tall. He's wide. It reminds me of Paul Dillette from the 90s, a super freak in the Olympia, top 6 Olympia guy. And, this guy, I think, has got incredible potential. And I'm seeing huge improvements. Oh, my God, look at that. He's incredible, isn't he? He's really good. Ronald P. Gordon, RPG. Look at the thickness of his biceps there. They're like... what? Change it. Oh, and I've told him about this before. We spoke about it. And he, because it's really hard to find him. I think you have to put his full name into Instagram or he doesn't come up. So he's quite hard to search. So if you want to find him, you have to, it's _RPG. Well, you can read it there. 8305 _ So it's a bit of a mouthful. So, I'm guessing he'd have a much, much bigger following if his full name was there. So it's funny square over that. Is that hanging or is that something he's added? But look at the quads. Look at that. And he's tall as well. I forgot to ask him his height. I think he's like 6. I'm sure he's at least 6'1", maybe even 6'2". But it's great when you see the tall guys that have the really, really good legs. I remember he said in the interview, he said he was very rear delt dominant. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. They look freaky. Let's have a look. See if we can put some sound on. Wow. So this is what he's bringing to the Indy Pro this weekend. And I saw a video I shall come to in a bit, and his conditioning was incredible. But look at that. The delts are amazing. I'm guessing he's just trained delts there. You're in shock. Lauren's in shock. Let's take the sound off because it's a bit loud. Just hear him grunting. But so I'm really excited. I think I'm excited to see Ronald, Humaniton, who we had on a few episodes ago, and who else? Blessing's looking very good as well. I'm interested to see if he's made some significant improvements over last year when he made his pro debut at the Indy Pro. So, this guy's structure, it's all there. The wide shoulders, the small waist, the flaring quads, as I've said, and he's got very good balance, very, very, very nice physique. So, see, he's not posting. Yeah, he doesn't give much away on his Instagram, does he? So hopefully that'll change. But, he's an absolute beast. The shoulders, just look at that. He looks like a cartoon character, doesn't he? Looks like everything's like exaggerated and morphed. But, when you get tall guys like this with these kinds of freaky muscle bellies, it just looks insane. So here he is dressed in a suit. Oh, look at that. Oh, Ronald, you're a cool guy, dressing in the nice smart suits, so I really respect this. But I wonder because I struggle to find shirts to fit, to do it, because otherwise, my neck's nothing like his, but I struggle to find shirts the right measurement around the chest and arms, but around I can't do that up now. I can't do that. That's too, that will literally choke me, So, but look at that. If you look in there, zoom in there, look. look, that waist looks like it's been photoshopped, like it's shaved a few inches off, but it's not. And then look at the quads, and he's got good calves as well. So don't underestimate a nice bespoke suit. Well, it's going to have to be bespoke, innit, with a guy that size. This guy ain't buying off the rack or off the peg, as we say in the UK. But, a little bit of check there. Looks nice, really smart. It's good. It's what I like to see. Bodybuilders dressing smart. So this was his last contest. I think this was the Tampa Pro. I'm sure this was in 2020. But look at the quads. I mean, it's like I said to Jamie the Giant. I said, if you're tall and you don't have good quads, you are wasting your time. So when you get good tall guys like this that do have great quads and a nice structure, and, and big frames that they can, it'll take a long time to fill. It's a good place to be in. So he looks in tremendous there, and he is going to be very, very much improved on this. So it's all there: structure, size, everything, symmetry, balance, the condition as well. I mean, I'll come to the video in 2 Instagram accounts, and I'll find the video that I saw, which really caught my eye, which basically prompted me to get him on. So, yeah. Yeah, so, okay, then we're going to go to Bodybuilders Without Borders. There's plenty on here. Oh, my God. Daniel is absolutely killing it at the moment on Daniel L, ESPN of Bodybuilding. Let's have a look. Here we are. This is Umon Eaton, who we had on a few weeks ago. This is the last picture he will be posting, or update picture, progress picture, before the Indy Pro. It's his pro debut. This is the guy that ruptured his liver leg pressing, and they said he'd never, I don't know if they said ever train again, but I think they definitely said he'd never compete again. So, his quads are incredible. I love the balance, the condition, the separation, and the quality of his legs. But I've seen a few other shots, and he's looking really, really good. So I'm really excited to see Umon making his pro debut at the Indy, and he's doing a few shows. So, yeah, very exciting there. Of course, we didn't do Hot News last week, but it was the Arnold Brazil last week, and Thea Gollins, what's his name? IFBB Pro _ Thea Gollins, Thea Gollins. Let's go to his Instagram. Hang on, let's go to Instagram. There we are. Thiago Lins. Okay, let's go back. Okay, sorry, Thiago Lins. Sorry, and this was the guy that took 3rd at the Arnold Brazil. Rafael Brandão was 1st place. 2nd place was Vitor, oh God, I forgot. Vitor Boff. He was 2nd, so it was a really, really interesting, not a big names apart from Rafael, but also the conditioning at the Arnold Brazil. All the athletes were, in fact, Rafael was probably the least conditioned, and he was in great condition. So, I mean, it was right through the top 10. The conditioning overall was absolutely spectacular. So, yeah, so Thiago, look at that. Look at the density there. Look at that. Yeah, very, very impressive from the back. I mean, I was blown away. Look at the density, the separation, the quality, the conditioning. I tell you what, these Brazilians, they know how to get very, very, very lean. So, yeah, here's a guy to keep an eye out for. Hopefully, we'll see him and do more pro shows this year. Like I said, we've got the Cali, we've got the New York Pro, we have the Indy Pro this weekend. So, it'll be interesting to see if they... Oh, there's another shot of Umon. Oh, sorry, I get distracted. They are twisting back shot there. Yeah, his back in his traps. Very, very good. So, hang on. Oh, here we go. Right, okay. Oh, okay. That's annoying now. Oh, it's annoying. Oh, okay. Oh, how do I get off this now? Hang on. Oh, actually, I want to come to this anyway. So, yeah, this was the Pittsburgh Pro. And, of course, we had, it's a very, very well-known show, not just for the pro categories that they have, but the fact, obviously, it's run by the Manions, and they really draw in the best guest posers, which obviously creates a lot of chatter. I mean, we've got the 212 Olympia champion there, Derek Lunsford. We have the Arnold Classic, last year's Arnold Classic champion, Nick Walker there. Hunter Labrada there, 275, I think he says. And obviously 2019 Mr. Olympia, the current Arnold Classic champion, Brandon Curry. So let's have a look. And I'm telling you, I couldn't believe what I was seeing this morning. Something's slipping out. So I thought it felt like somebody was touching my back. I thought, it really freaked me out there. It was Derek Lunsford. Derek Lunsford completely stole the show. He brought, I like you said, I struggle to see how he's going to make it down to 212 again. But look at that. Holy shit. Wow. I mean, look at that. I think he's going to have to. Well, the thing is, the dilemma is, this is a guy that is the current 212 Olympia champion. So what does he now do? Does he really fight to get down to 212 again to defend his title and win it a second time? Or does he just say, okay, if I'm ready at 225 or 220, then I'm just going to go into the open. And then he's obviously going to try and win a pro show or try and get top 6 at Olympia. So which is better, really? Which is better? This is what Sean Clarida has to face now. You know, what does he do? Does he try and go into the open and try their luck there and see how well they do? But or do they try and stay at the top and fight for that 212 Olympia title? So, but I can't get over that. I mean, I think he's really torn because he's... Okay, guys, sorry, we had a bit of a sunspot just streaming through the just above the curtains there, so we've had to stop and block the light. Trying to, anyway. Right, okay, so basically, what I'm saying about Derek Lunsford, he's in the kind of position that, well, not that Hadi Chupin and William Bonac were in, because they never won the 212 Olympia. They were just kind of highly ranked. But I mean, this is a real tough one, is it? What would you do if you were Derek Lunsford? Would you go and win the 212 Olympia again and really suffer to get it down? Because this is a lot of new muscle he's putting on there. Or would you jump into the open?
I would jump into an open show and I would attempt to do the 212, like see how.
What, like do a pre-Olympia open show and then?
If he can do an open show.
Come on.
My view was completely different. Before I thought he must stay 212 and then swap, but now I think he must try and open.
Yeah, I think I'd love to see him do, say, an open show in the run-up to the Olympia. So if there was one 6 weeks or 4 weeks out, say, because the thing is, the Olympia's in December this year, and there's a lot of October, November, there's like Romania, there's a lot of shows over this side of the world, there's Italy. Maybe he could come over. Imagine if he just jumped in and kept it quiet and then did an open show, and at 220, 225, wins it, and then sucks it down to 212 for the Olympia in December and then wins that again for a second time. That would be very, very cool, but it's a huge gamble. And it'd be interesting to see what he actually looks better at, because he might actually look better as a 212, not better as a 220, 225. He might look blocky. I don't know. So it'd be interesting to see, but it looks like he has put on a ton of muscle. And for me, he was the talking point of the Pittsburgh Pro. And that's, like I said, against... fourth and fifth Olympia, Nick Walker and Hunter Labrada. Hunter was fourth, Nick was fifth. So he's really, and I know you can't really compare off-season bodybuilders to each other, really, because it's how they look on the contest day that matters. Nothing else really matters, but it does create a lot of, every year it does this. It does create a lot of interest, as to who's going to do what, come the Olympia. So, also, Ramy was supposed to turn up, and he didn't. I wonder what happened there. I would love to find out. I wonder what happened. Maybe he's busy with his 2 wives. But I didn't say anything. So, and there's Nick Walker. Yeah, very big. He's a monster, isn't he? I don't like his physique, though. I don't like his physique. I like it. I don't like that off-season. For me, that looks a bit... That's not pretty. I mean, look at that, and then look at that. That's pretty. That's freaky.
Do you know what I like about Nick?
That's freaky.
He puts on a show. Yeah, he's like.
And he does look great when he diets down, but he's got so much muscle and so much mass. I think it's almost like it's on a too short a frame. It looks a bit.
Yeah, but that guy knows how to put on a show.
Okay, all right, okay, whatever. Okay, right, okay, we've got Hunter Labrada at 275. I mean, that's very, very good condition for off-season. Condition's great. I don't see a huge amount of improvements. I'll be honest. I was talking about this with someone, but, they might be off. And obviously the magic really happens when they start prepping and really focusing on a show. So he might be someone like RPG that might actually start growing into the show. So as soon as he starts his prep, that's when he really puts his foot on the gas, and he really might start, the magic start happening. So maybe if he's looking like this, at this point, maybe this is what he wants. But I'd be interested to see if he has made significant improvements by the time the Olympia comes around, because he's still young. He's only, I think 30 years old. I think about 30, 31, something like that. So from these young guys, you do kind of expect the improvements, when their careers are just kind of getting started. Brandon Curry, looks great. Looks right. He's fine. Looks good. He's someone that grows into a show as well. I would say he looks the least impressive of these guys, but it doesn't really matter because it's what he brings to the stage come showtime. And, and he's 2019 Mr. Olympia. He's the current Arnold Classic champion, and guaranteed he will be bringing his best to the Olympia this year. And I expect him to look a lot better at the Olympia than he did at the Arnold Classic. What?
I like Brandon's skin.
You like Brandon's skin? He does, because he looks good. He looks good, He's a guy who kind of does it right, if you know what I mean. So, and there's Hunter. Hunter looks good there, man. Looks good there. He is good. He is very, very good Hunter. His calves are incredible. And he's very consistent year round. He's one of these kind of like the quieter guys that kind of just gets his head down and graphs, But look at the size of his shoulders. Oh, my God. But tell you what, Derek Lunsford for me, yep, absolutely stole the show. Look at that. Do you know what? I'd love to see that off-season front double bicep next to the off-season Keon Pearson, because I put on Keon Pearson's Instagram the other day when he was doing a video of him posing, and I said that is one of the greatest front double biceps of all time, in my opinion. But then along comes Derek Lunsford and does something and shows something like this, which is, for me, is equally, if not more impressive than Keon. So it'd be interesting to see if Keon nails his condition for the 212 this year. I could very much see the top three at the Olympia in the 212, Derek Lunsford, Sean Clarida, and Keon Pearson. I could see that to me, I could see that very realistically as the top three at the 212 Olympia. And obviously Kamal as well, still hanging in there, still looking amazing, still being consistent. What's he, 50, 51 now? And still bringing a very beautiful aesthetic, conditioned physique. So yeah, that's the four guys in my mind that are literally the best 212s right now. So yeah, it's not a bad shot. He's awesome shoulders. I love Brandon Curry's front delts are as big as his rear delts. Now that is what you call balance. So right, okay, what was I looking at? I was looking at something else, wasn't I? What else? Let's have a look. See if anything else jumps out at me. So what else? No, nothing really. This was the guy that won the classic, prepped by Dennis Wolf, Alexander Westermeyer. He was absolutely tremendous. I mean, look at that. Look at the condition, the fullness, the polish, the separation, the color. Look, he's not even flexing, and the hamstrings just look like they're just pop. Everything is popping. That's what you term as someone that has peaked perfectly. So that's it's great that we have classic, that we get guys like this, because these are guys might not be big enough to do well in classic, and if they did, then they might not look as good, so they might ruin their shape and their conditioning and like this quality separation, everywhere. But so here's the guy that won the Pittsburgh Pro Classic Physique, yeah. So filmed by Gilco there. They do beautiful videography there. So look at that. Look at the skin and the hardness and everything, top to toe. That is a very, very great job to Dennis Wolf there, prepping, obviously coaching people now. So look forward to seeing Alexander at the Olympia. Wonder how you'll do. Of course, we had the Brit Neil Curry there in third. Camilo Diaz, IFB Pro, in second. He was an open, and I believe he switched to 212. And now he has switched to Classic. And it looks like it was a good move for him. So, okay, I don't want to see that. Yep. So we're going to go to, I'm sure there's something else I want to see on oh, God, it's doing that thing again now. Hang on. Right, let's have a look at one more. Oh, bugger. It's really annoying when it does that. The trackpad's really sensitive. Right, there we go. Okay, I'm going to have a look at one more. I'm going to have to be very careful how I touch it because it's very sensitive. No, that's pretty much all I wanted to see on there. Right, I'm going to go to Sleuth. Who this? Oh, let's have a look at, here we go. Is Hunter Labrada again at the guest posing. Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. Yeah, I still want to see more lower lats on him. I still think this area is lacking. I feel like this area really needs to come up. You know, get some heavy rows on the go, mate. Somebody said to me he doesn't do rows, and I'm like, how do you know? Are you with him when you train every day? But for me, that's the only thing. To me, that with bigger lower lats, that's very Ramy-like. Think about it. Like Ramy's lats, like they really come out like this, and they're like Ramy's, this area is really fully developed, and but I tell you what, that's very Ramy-like. So, but I still feel like he needs more back. Definitely more back. See there, this area here, it kind of just down here. He needs a bit more thickness and development there if he really wants to. I mean, he's only one spot away from cracking the top 3 at the Olympia. So. Yeah, looks great. Okay, let's go to... Oh, here we go. Got to see Lunsford again. What a freak. Wow. Yeah, there's Nick. Oh, we've seen all these. We've seen all these. So, what else? What else? There's RPG there in his pants. There he is. So that's just over a week to go. This is Ronald we just had on. But look at the shoulder width, look at the tiny waist, the flat stomach, the great quads. What a shape. In fact, I want to see the posing of him that he produced that was on. Here it is. This is the one I saw. Look at the chest. The chest is ridiculous. Let's have a look. Here we go. Let's turn the volume. Yeah. Wow. What do you think? Impressed? His chest is incredible. It's like you could put like a protein shake on top of it and rest it on the top of his pecs.
Excellent.
Yeah, pexcellent. Yes. Oh. Yeah, yeah. The thing is, he's big, but he's got a nice tight waistline as well. Nice flat stomach. Condition looks good. Then he's obviously flat as a pancake there, but everything looks nice and dug out and tight and separated. So yeah, so I'm excited to see what he's going to bring at the Indy Pro. His delts. Oh my God, his shoulders are ridiculous. Absolutely phenomenal. So I'll look at the lat spread and then we'll move on to something else. Yeah, he's looking good, old Ronald. So is that Keon there? Looking crazy. Yeah, I'll come to Keon in a bit because I want to show I'll show you a better video. I'll show you a video that is more impressive than that. So we were training with him the other week.
I can't believe he was off season.
I know. Oh, you can't believe he's off season?
Well, he was a few weeks ago.
He was, yeah, in Sweden. Yeah, we were out there, yeah. So, and also watch out for Peter Clancy as well at the Indy Pro. I think he's going to be a dark horse. I think it was I saw him compete in 2017 at the Arnold Europe. I'm not sure if he competed 2018, but he definitely hasn't competed since then, if it was that year, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, he's a monster and he's very, very well put together. Yeah, so see, very few people even have heard of this guy. I think he's from Croatia. I'm sure he's from Croatia, but or not Ukraine, Croatia. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. Prepped by Mauro Sassi there as well, our friend Mauro. Yeah, he's really good. He's just a monster.
Yeah.
So I'm singing 5 Vegan Death Punch now. New album coming out soon. Yay. Very, very soon. Very excited about that. So, right, okay. Yeah, so keep an eye out for Peter Clancy. Obviously very excited, like I said, to see Humon Eaton and, of course, RPG, Ronald P. Gordon. Also, we've brought out Lucas Coelho. He's 18. Oh, he's doing the muscle contest in Sao Paulo, the 212. So here's another 212 superstar, really. I think we need some exciting new faces to come into the 212 because to keep the division, thriving and growing, and keep these shows having 212 categories. We need the new blood to come in and guys like this with personality and that stand out, not just because of their physiques. So he won Portugal last year. I think he was 9th at Olympia last year. Or was 9th or 7th? I can't remember. But, right, okay, I think it's all I wanted to see on there. I'm going to go to Keon Pearson. Where's the video he posted? The posing. Oh, I've got the wrong Keon Pearson. Okay, I'm just going to type in... Is that... What is...
The Kid Prodigy.
Is that... is that different? So someone's done a fake. No, there's another fake. No, this is his coaching. Oh shit! Hang on, we'll go back to. Sorry, potty mouth there. Let's go to here, and then they'll have tagged him into the right Instagram account. Where is it? Okay, let's go here, and then what we'll do is we'll go to Keon Prodigy. So it's not Keon Pearson, it's Keon_Prodigy. Right, this is the video I wanted. This is it. Watch this. Look at this frontal bicep. Look at this. This is insane. Look at that. Yeah. Hang on. I mean, that next to Lunsford at the Olympia, that is what I'm talking about. With Sean Clarida, Keon Pearson, Derek Lunsford, first call out at the Olympia, those three, and Kamal. Who are we going to throw in as a fifth one? Who are we going to throw in? Hang on, I turn the sound off. It's stupid. Yeah, who are we going to have in the fifth? Come on, think. I can't think. My mind's gone blank. So, Lucas... sorry?
Derek's going to move to open.
You think Derek's going to move to open? What, because of Keon?
No, I'm just thinking, like, if this is the look...
And, I mean, yeah, but Keon is... I'm sure he's well under 212 as well. I'm sure that he said he was 205 or something like that. Because he told me at the gym in... Stark Gym in Sweden. I'm sure that's what he said he weighed. I think the thing is he's put on a lot of size, so it's going to be impossible to tell what he is going to weigh come the time of the Olympia. But that frontal bicep, look at that. Where's my comment? I put a comment. Hang on. Do you see my comment? Oh, there's too many comments. Mine got completely lost in the mix. But yeah, so Keon Pearson obviously didn't do too well at the Olympia last year. His conditioning was a little bit off, well, quite off, and he got, I think, 14th or something, and it was, people were thinking that he was going to come in and win it. So, but he's training with Martin Fitzwater, obviously part of the gas team now, and it just seems, we were training with him, and they were training so bloody crazy hard, and the magic's happened. So he's staying in 212, thank God, and very excited to see what he's going to be bringing. He's going to be doing Keon is going to be doing the Dallas Pro, he told me, in the 212, and Martin Fitzwater is going to be doing the Open. So, right, okay, we're going to go to Muscle Contest Ireland. They haven't posted some very exciting news yet, which hopefully they'll post tonight, so I'm probably not going to spoil the surprise. But, yes, we've booked our flights. We're going this weekend to the Muscle Contest Ireland at Sunday, May the 15th, the University Concert Hall, Limerick. Great venue. Heard they got a really good MC. So just didn't hear that from me. And, yeah, so it's Pro Bodybuilding 212, 7 pro cards on offer for the NPC International Qualifier. And, yeah, so loads of sponsors there. It's going to be a great show. Some great names doing the 212. I'm sure I saw Dave Henry's in. Rob Taylor from the UK is in. So there's 2 names that are, very exciting 212 names. So I'm sure whoever's emceeing the event is very excited to be announcing their names when he's on stage. Spoiler alert. And yeah, so yeah, there's Rob Taylor. I'm surprised because he's really suffered to get down to 212 though. I'm sure a few weeks out they said he was in condition. He still has something like 20-30 pounds to lose. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how he looks at 212 because we saw him last year at the NPC European as an Open. He made top 10 his first pro show. He was sick as well. Yeah, he said he had some dodgy fish or something, or well, it's dodgy salmon. Okay, I've heard that one before though.
Yeah, but salmon is.
I've heard that one before.
Well,
yeah, okay. No, well, we have to take these people on face value. We have to take the people on face value. There you go. Obviously, all the sponsors there. Tom Staunton Fitness. I wonder if that's Tommy Staunton from Ireland. I'm guessing it is. Oh, it'll be nice to see everyone. All the Oh, look, there's your. Lauren did that thumbnail. Very good. So Lauren does a lot of graphics, yeah. Plug. But so anyway, basically we'll be flying out on the Friday, coming home on the Monday, and we cannot wait to support Brian Bullman, the promoter, and the Gwindy brothers, Tarek and Tamer, who will be also coming over. And yeah, it'd be nice because I've not been to Ireland since I want to say 2015. So I'm going to say 2015.
This will be my first.
2015, what? Your first time to Ireland? Oh, it's a beautiful place. Lovely. Yeah, really nice. People are really nice as well. What? Oh, and you're a little bit older because Lauren's birthday's on Friday. Friday the 13th. Send her a card. So, okay, Derek Lunsford. I just want to show you this. This is crazy. Look at that. I mean, that look like you have to sort of like rub your eyes to see if that is real, but that is real. That's how he looked at the NPC Pittsburgh. I wonder what he weighs there. I'm guessing maybe 240, maybe not quite that much, 235, maybe 230.
He looks like a Ken doll.
A Ken doll, like a blown up one.
A muscular Ken doll.
But he's look at the thickness of his abs. He's hitting a vacuum. His waist is small. I think that's big, but that's kind of beautiful as well.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? You know, whereas like Nick Walker's just big.
But he puts on
Oh, stop it, Lauren! Stop it! Stop it! Puts on a show. Ooh, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Right. Okay then. Yeah. But that to me, that's a very pleasing physique for someone with that much size, and that's when you've nailed bodybuilding. You know, you've absolutely nailed it. It's just, obviously teaming up with Hani Rambod was what he needed to take everything to the next level and fulfill his potential, because, he looks incredible there. And he's the best in the world right now. It's a 212. He's the number one. He's the champ. So I'd love to know what he weighs. I'm guessing over 230. So, but hopefully we will see him in an open show in the next year or two, because the thing is, you never know. These guys could get injured. They could I don't know. Anything could happen. So I want to see him whilst he's looking this good at his peak. So that was pretty much all I wanted to see on Derek Lunsford's. The Indy Pro, obviously this weekend on Saturday, May the 14th, we'll be in Ireland.
Yeah.
So, how are we going to watch the live stream? Oh shit, we'll be in Ireland.
We can watch it on our laptop.
I'm not going to watch it on a laptop. I'm going to be bloody I'm going to be at the show.
No, it's on May the 14th.
May the 14th. Well, no, I'm going to be
The show's on the 15th.
darling, I'm going to be hobnobbing.
What's a hobnob?
You know, a hobnob. I'm going to be hobnobbing with the stars in Ireland, you know? Drinking Guinness. Doing river dance. Picking four-leaf clovers. Is that racist? Is it?
No, because there's lots of four-leaf clovers.
It's not.
If you
It's
said
not
something
racist.
about
Okay, I'm not racist.
maybe-
Oh, leprechaun. I'm a taxi driver and I was in America once. I told you the story. I was talking about, somehow we got onto the subject of Ireland. I don't know how. I think he asked me if I was Irish, and I said, no, I'm Welsh. And he said, oh, Ireland. He said, he says, is it true they have leprechaunians there? Yeah. And I said, what? And he says, leprechaunians. And I was like, what? I don't know what you're talking about, mate. And he says, those little guys, the little, like, I said, leprechauns. Leprechaunians. What's he talking about? Yeah. So obviously he'd written it. He obviously read it, but not heard it said. So God, I'm just everyone's getting it today, aren't they? Right. So yeah. So it's going to be a very exciting event. Very excited to see Charles Griffin, who's looking absolutely phenomenal, as you can see. There's Charles Griffin there. We've got Justin Rodriguez, the current champion. I'm guessing he's the favourite going in. We've got Blessing our debut, Peter Clancy. Oh my God, this is going to be an amazing lineup. Eumon Eaton. We have Dorian Hayward. You've got Brett Swanson. Who else we got? Who else do you need? Because this is a seriously. Oh, Steve Coelho. Steve Coelho doing it. No way. No, because he's a past Indy Pro champion. That's why they've mentioned him. But so this is going to be an absolutely incredible lineup. There's Eumon Eaton there, making his pro debut. Really rooting for him because he had a really interesting story and he was really, really cool guy. Interviewed him a few episodes ago. Go check it out. Bob Chick there and Isabel Terrell doing the live stream like they did last year. Did a great job last year. And oh my God, it's so check out the live stream there, $9.99. It's very good. I like it when it's $9.99, not like $40, $50. I think you can justify it then, you know. And the thing is that these things are very, very well put together. So check it out because the quality of the live stream last year was absolutely amazing. So that is this Saturday. So check it out on. Sorry. Mention Dave Bowers. Obviously the awesome promoter, DaveBowersProductions.com. Go there. Click on the live stream and get it downloaded because like $9.99 and seriously you'll be glad that you did it. It's definitely worth it. So okay, we're gonna go to NPC News Online official page. Obviously all the latest up-to-date pictures from the Pittsburgh Pro, which is kind of their flagship event really because it's their show in the NPC's home of Pittsburgh. So obviously we had Sonny Andrews winning the wellness. Congratulations, Sonny Andrews. I thought the girl who was second looked more wellness to me. What's Cassandra? Yeah, to me, yeah, she was really good. She doesn't look quite as hard as she does there in the pictures. I mean, the condition looks right there to me.
I think Sunny was meant to win this one.
Okay, Sunny was meant to win. Okay, I like this girl. I thought was really good. Let's have a look. Did she do the Olympia last year?
No.
Okay. Okay, she's cool. Right, okay then. And we had, obviously, Laura Chapados. Congratulations there, winning the, oh my God, basically the Olympia lineup without Jennifer Dory.
I think she's going to win this year.
You think she'll win the Olympia this year? I think a lot of people do, don't they? It's her time. And obviously, we had Ashley Coltwasser in second place. We had the return of Janet Lagan third. Indy Paulino was fifth. And who was fourth?
No idea.
Oh, you don't know? Okay.
Unrecognizable name.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. So, and we got Natalia Coelho winning the women's physique. Do you know, she's still only like 26, you know?
Damn.
And she's been around for years. I remember her competing at the 2017 Olympia when she was figure. And then later that year, she switched to women's physique and she's never looked back. She's won the Arnold Classic. She's been second at the Olympia. She's been third at the Olympia. And she's, I think...
Now, those are some abs.
Yeah, she's incredible. Condition is out of this world. And nice presentation. Nice presentation. So she's been competing, I think, since she was 16.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm sure she was like bikini.
Wow.
Yeah, she's awesome. And she looks like she's brought her legs up a little bit as well, because they weren't bad before, but it looks like they got a bit more sweep on them. So she's obviously been working very, very hard. What else? Let's have a look at the. It's bugging me. Who placed fourth in bikini? Oh no, it doesn't say. Who's this lady? Is that her?
Yes, the lady in red.
Is that the lady in red? That's the one who took fourth. We can't identify her name. Right. Okay. Ian Valier trolling there. Oh, it had the return of Sadiq.
Amazing. So happy.
Are you happy about that? You?
Like, he was one of the first men's physique.
Oh, was he?
I was like, woo!
Because he's been going since what? 2012. He was one of the first men's physique guys. Because men's physique came in 2012, 2013, and he was second to Jeremy Buendia at the Olympia. He then switched to classic. And then he's come back to men's physique. And do you know what? The condition, that's what you call perfect conditioning. I mean, that is about as hard as you can get.
I'm so happy because it means like all the originals you can do it when you're older. Like you can actually do it.
Yeah, and Buendia's coming back, of course.
I'm so happy.
Buendia's back. I wonder how the pectoral look.
It'll be fine.
What's that?
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Okay, just don't flex the pecs and then you'll bunch up. No, because if you relax them, then, you know, which is, I mean, it kind of benefits the men's physique if they have a test, because then they don't have to flex it and it doesn't kind of like distort the shape. So if they just leave it relaxed, it just hangs. What?
To me, he was one of the first guys I probably saw on like a
He's
running
back.
season.
Okay, one of the first guys. So he's back and he's winning. So be interesting to see if he can climb back up to the top at the Olympia. Who's this? Training with Shah. I don't know this lady. Should we click on her Instagram? Yeah, let's click on her Instagram. She goes nice balance, nice shape. See, that's about as muscular as I like figure to be, really. Shah. Okay, Shah. That's her name. It's like Yurishna. You know? So she's going with the shorter, easy to remember name. So, and we brought up the classic in the previous account. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. So another successful Pittsburgh Pro there in the books. And congratulations to everyone. The guest posing was as sensational as I think we all wanted it to be. Look at Derek, he's loving it. Derek loves it today. As Freddie Nadeau on probably DJing, I think. So yeah, fantastic. Look at his legs. Oh my God, look at the meat on those legs. Jesus. Wow. I almost feel sorry for Brandon.
I love it when they come into
Look at that. Yeah, look at Derek. He's so cool. Yeah, he's funny. Yeah, he's awesome. He's just kind of enjoying life at the moment. He's enjoying being the champ. Of course, we have probably one of the most popular bodybuilders on the freaking planet ever. Chris Bumstead, just normal guy and cool guy. And I think that's why people like him, because he's genuine and he's never changed. And he's very down to earth and humble. And he's got a completely badass physique. Yeah. So that's why we love Chris Bumstead. So it's because he's just a cool guy. And people can relate to people like that. You know, when people start acting like superstars and acting like dickheads, that's when, you know, the people can't feel connected to their heroes, you know. But Chris, he's just a cool guy, and he's there's no fanfare with him when he walks in, even though the fans are just in awe when they see him. So look at that. Oh my God. I tell you what, he's kind of beating Hunter there. Isn't he? He's taking Hunter there. And Hunter's no slouch. Be interesting to see if he does go open. What?
Go back.
What?
Yes.
What, that? Oh, Nick puts on a good show.
No, but look at how cool. I love
Look at, I tell you what, I would love to know the width of Nick Walker's neck. He looks like what's the Bluto out of Popeye, the big guy. He just needs the beard. He does, doesn't he? He looks like something out of, like, he looks like the Hulk. Yeah. Actually, paint Nick Walker green. That's the Hulk.
Yeah. This is my favorite pose.
You like that pose? Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, there he is doing it in. Hang on. I want to see. Brandon just looked kind of disinterested there, didn't he? Gotta go back to that. Look. Hang on. Brandon be like, yeah, guys. I'm not getting involved in this one with the kids. I'm not getting down with the kids. So anyway, yeah. So like I said, big congratulations there to the Manians for another successful NPC Pittsburgh Pro. And yeah, it looked absolutely packed out. Everyone was there. And yeah, so it looked like a very successful event. So I'm very happy to report that. Right, okay then. Final one is Flex Lewis, because himself and Ali have had their baby number 2. Maxon James Lewis, 8 pounds 8 ounces. I'm guessing that's a Welsh name, because he's very big on his Welsh names. Because he's Welsh and he's very proud of being Welsh, as am I. C-Bump, another stud. So yeah, so I believe, I'm sure Rafael Brandeo told me that the baby was due, I think either at the Arnold, wouldn't have been the Arnold, it would have been the Arnold Brazil event. So a few days late, but he said pretty much on the day, that's when they said they were expecting the second baby. So yeah, so big congratulations there to Flex and Ali. And I've completely forgot the name of his daughter. What's her name? It's a Welsh name. It's a very... I can't remember the name. I can't remember the name. Why? It's completely escaped me. So yeah. So big congratulations there. So, okay. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And also check out the latest issue of Muscular Development there with Andrew Jacked on the front cover. You'll be sad to hear I've only got 4 pages on this one. So, and I've got to fill about 10 pages this week. Somehow I've got to fit it in going to Wales and going to Ireland. So, but we've been set these challenges before and we have overcome. So yeah. So okay then, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to get all the latest MD notifications. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting, and we are out.